Welcome to Policy on Demand. I'm Sindhu Blume. Over the course of the past year, the pandemic has accelerated real estate trends globally and domestically, while prompting new ones and pausing others. Joining me to talk about the future of real estate as well as the future of the office is Erika Ryback from PwC's Corporate Real Estate Strategy and Transformation Practice. Erika, welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So I have to confess to you that I have not been shy in speaking with my colleagues about how much I've been looking forward to speaking with you, because the transformation of the real estate landscape around us is something that we have all been able to see in the past year, sometimes happening dramatically, sometimes really quickly, and which begs the question, there are companies have real estate strategies. So what has that transformation done to where real estate strategies are today? And also wondering, are the strategies that you're seeing here in the US consistent with those that you're seeing around the world?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing all of our clients rethink their real estate strategy. Do they have the right amount of space, the right type of space, and are they in the right locations? We are seeing some companies expand their footprint. This is really due to their specific business growth. Really, across the board, companies are reducing square feet per employee as they implement this hybrid working model where employees only spend part of their time in the physical office and then the other part remotely. It may seem easy just to get out of that space, but some of our clients do have long-term leases that they need to deal with. But there are a couple levers that they can consider. One is blending and extending, which means that they take up less square footage, less space, and they take on a longer lease term. Other options are subleasing, potentially renegotiating with that landlord, assessing if they have any lease options, such as buyouts and early terminations. And then lastly, for those clients that have big portfolios, they may have multiple sites with the same landlord, which increases their leverage in negotiations. And then globally, real estate strategy is really differing based on cultural differences, access to technology such as Wi-Fi, and labor union strength such as countries as France and Germany.
Okay, and you mentioned the office, which I know everybody is curious about. So post-vaccine, post-pandemic, whenever that happens, what is the office looking like, and what is the purpose? I mean, is there a purpose to the office anymore?
Yeah, it's really shifting that purpose. With the success of remote working, all of these organizations are reassessing their space based on what their workforce requires when they actually come into the office. Why do they need to come in? What are they doing? We're seeing a shift away from that heads down work that was done in the office to be done remotely, and then changing why people are coming into the office. Really now being it's access to technology, equipment, those hard working sessions with their teams, client meetings, networking. So these new future ways of working is changing that purpose for the office, the reason for people to actually make their way in. And then therefore the space is changing. The office is requiring space that allows people to connect, collaborate, be innovative, and be the most productive they can be in that space. Prior to the pandemic, we were actually seeing a trend of reducing square feet per person while they were in the office. And now we're seeing a new trend where people are building multiple spaces for a person to move around the office and meet with different people, really providing flexibility while they're in the office. And those different spaces could be a seat at the windowsill, in the pantry, multifunctional rooms, just open collaborative space. In many cases, it's actually increasing the square feet per person while in the office.
Okay, and as you're speaking with companies, what are you hearing are the factors that they're considering when thinking about people coming back into the office?
Yeah, I think this really differs from company to company. Most companies are going to bring their employees back to the office, but to what extent is the question? Is it 2 days, 3 days, 5 days a week? Interesting, we're seeing a difference in what employees want and what employers want. From our remote work survey we issued in January, we interviewed 1,200 employees and 130 employers. And the majority of employees said they wanted to actually work remotely 3 days or more a week. And employers, on the flip side, wanted employees to come in 3 days or more a week. Employers are thinking we need people back in the office to drive culture. So I think it's going to be one of the biggest questions that we work through in this next year is how do companies maintain a strong culture and brand while allowing people to work remotely and not be in the office all the time together?
Okay. And also when you're speaking with companies, what questions are you getting around strategy? And I'm also curious to know, what are you recommending that people think about?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working with companies over the past year on post-pandemic real estate strategies. And it really starts off with workforce segmentation and persona development, really understanding what the individual employee's needs and requirements are. So our clients have been asking, how much space do they actually need? What type of space? What type of technology should they be investing in? And we've been working with them to develop new space designs and assessing their technology infrastructure to see, do they have the right technology to support the workforce? Is it productivity suites they're looking at, hoteling and room booking, video collaboration? And at the end of the day, our clients are going to reduce their footprints, but they're wondering, how is this actually even going to work? The worry is they say 50% of the people come into the office on any given day, and more than that show up and there isn't enough space. So we've been working with our clients on workplace scheduling to ensure that those groups that collaborate together have space together. You know, what does a typical work week look like? Who comes in on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I really think this structure at first is really going to allow for a successful office rollout.
All right, Erika, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it and your insight.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
And to our viewers, as always, thank you for spending this time with us. We'll see you next time.